not training Celestials, you may be actually little behind. Hey legends, is Burgas here. So let's talk about Celestials. Obviously Celestials is from the League of Order, so not everybody is going to have them, but they're popular for a reason. I'll show you where they actually fit. And if you check it out, the Warfield is full, they're packed with them. Watch a big fight always and you're going to see that there is just tons of Celestials right there. And there is a reason behind this actually happening. Maybe I can give you a short explanation why this thing is happening. If you go in Cow Dragons and if you're League of Order, obviously if you want to be a cavalry main, you want to pick Wilderburg or League of Order. I personally even prefer League of Order for the cavalry. Because we have to say a couple words for the fraction, because it's giving this legion magic defense. You know, the field is full with the mages, so yeah, getting extra 3% magic defense is nice. On the other side, you're getting 3 physical attack with Wilderburg, which, you know, it's nice to have it, but still I think League of Order is also very nice for ground cavalry. But yeah, at the end of the day, we're talking about the Celestials, and Celestials is the best WAS unit in Cow Dragons, or tier, the WAS tier. For Wilderburg, you're having these flying things, which, you know, can help you hitting from the distance and doing destruction from the distance, but still, Celestials is way more valuable. Spring Quadrants are having their eagles, but we're not looking for eagles, you know, because their cavalry is, in my opinion, still not that good. So what is special about the Celestials and why the field is full with them? First thing is the attack they're having, 332. For comparison with the Vestals, you're going to see that tier 5 Vestal is having like 292, but the cavalry, tier 5 cavalry is having 439. So cavalry definitely having way more, marksmans definitely are having way more, but still Celestials is having decent amount of damage, and these 4 mages are making them more strong from the Vestals. If you're marksman main, you want to go with the cows, for example, with Wilderburg, but still the flying marksmans is not in great support. The cows, the ground unit, the ground marksmans is way better. So Celestials only for League of Order is working in better positioning. Basically double your mages. This is one of the things, and there is a reason the warfields are packed with them, because they're way better from normal mages. Even that the normal mages are giving you, like, how to say it, like 20% more HP when, you know, when you're in the fight. Is every 3 seconds for 15 seconds, 20% more HP, but still Celestials is extremely efficient. Good stats per SWAT, very important. Easy for mass bow is also, you know, having nice attack, having nice defense, and etc. And in general is the most played unit in Cow Dragons, and you saw part from the reasons why they are that important. And honestly, even my hospital is I try to not have it full with Celestials, but I still, every time I go out, like 3 or 4 of my legions are with Celestials, and my hospital is full with Celestials. And boy oh boy guys, hit one like if your hospital is also full with Celestials. Like this, I know I'm not going to be the only guy who is using non-stop Celestials, filling the battlefield with these flying creatures that actually do pretty decent damage. And boy oh boy, yeah, hit one like if your hospital have some Celestials inside. The other thing that I suggest is also for the training event. I mean, when the training event come, something that I did, obviously I didn't go fully on Celestials. I mean, I have a video on my channel. This is pushing for the 50 million in the greatest heights. For the people who don't know, I have the city skin, and there I actually push like 1.3 million Celestials, and I push like 1 million swordsmen and like 400k Vestals. Just the amount of Celestials I'm needing, since the majority of my marches is with Celestials. I just focus there, and no wonder why on the battlefield you're going to see so many Celestials. Right now, if I go over my legions and I take out the simple mode, I have actually 2 Vestals, which is very interesting, and I have 2 Celestials, but my 3rd legion is actually again Celestials. I decided to go with 2 Vestals just because of this 20% buff, and in the same time my Bertrand and Tocher is hitting a single target, and this is AoE damage dealer Lilia, AoE damage dealing and a single target. This is Yun Ming, and Thunderlane and Mu is AoE damage dealers, but when I go out with my Warrior and Valiant, both of them are AoE, so I just decide this is going to be what I'm going to use as a heroes in Call of Dragons. Now, back in the days, I say, guys, you can use, for example, 1 Legion Vestals and 4 Celestials, and since every 3 seconds you give 20% buff to your Legion, it's like completely fine to go with 1 Vestals, but at the end of the day, I think going with 2 Vestal Legions end up to be more efficient for my Legions, and adding this extra 20% more HP for my Legions. And don't forget, if you're planning to actually push for Celestials, don't forget that time your training in Greatest Heights or Strongest Sword. I strongly suggest people actually save for the Greatest Heights, I'm not gonna lie, because if you save for Strongest Sword or other event where you need some speed ups, you may actually get some tokens from the Strongest Sword, for example, but you will never be able to get the Legendary City skin. And this is maybe a place where the people have to focus, because each Legendary City skin is going to give you 2% more attack. Extremely important in Call of Dragons. You may not get the Dormant, but I think this is the place where you just have to spend your speed ups, because tokens are easy to get. I mean, okay, not that easy, but you can go in Roots of War, you win Roots of War, you get 10 tokens. You have Proving Ground, you finish the quest, you get tokens. There's just so many places, even daily deals. If you buy daily deals, you can get tokens. But yeah, if you plan to boost or power push for whatever troops, it's not only for Celestials, definitely use this time period where there is actually an event that is, for me, Greatest Heights is one of the most important events in Call of Dragons. Now, the other thing about the commanders, pair Celestials with the heroes who buff their row. And what I mean by that is, I'm going to show you right now what I mean by that is, for example, my Celestials or the legions I'm currently using, if I deploy one more legion, create the legion, is going to be, if I remember right, it's going to be Warrior with Valiant, and this is Celestials. Now, why I'm actually using Celestials here? Warrior Valiant, AoE damage dealers, absolutely brutal, and it have to be with Celestials. I mean, your AoE heroes have to be with Celestials because they're increasing the damage your heroes are doing. So if you're doing decent amount of damage, yeah, definitely go with Celestials. Now, Yun Ming with Gromara again should be Celestials. Just Yun Ming is the best mage in Call of Dragons, so if you don't put the best mage troop in Call of Dragons on him, it's just shame. Oh, this is not actually on autocast. Now, Thunderlane and Mu. Now, a lot of people speak how crazy is Mu and blah blah blah, but for me personally, since I don't have other artifacts that is increasing the attack, I have Breath of Gigantis, but I really don't want to use Breath of Gigantis on my troops. I mean, I don't want to use it in my legions, and I use Thunder Elegy. I prefer to also put Sand Lizard here and also to be with Vestals inside. The Dwarf Legion is a single target, Bertrand Tocher, so it's pointless to actually put Celestials there, even though that they're going to perform better with Celestials. And yeah, I just put there Vestals and finally Lilia Theia. Here we're actually having some benefits from Lilia Theia, just because Theia, for the people who don't actually know, is actually giving something extra. When Legion is composed entirely of flying units, their attacks increase it by 10% and their march speed by 20%. So you get 20% more march speed just because you're using flying units and these Celestials. There is other heroes that is also boosting this thing, like for example Bahorn. Bahorn Legion ignores blah blah. Flying Legions also get 5% attack and up to 10% attack and march speed 20%. Also is having the skill Tamachi. It's a very generic hero. I mean, that can be placed with many different troops, don't get me wrong, but this type of heroes are nice with all of the legions and good for nothing. Still, I didn't actually test him. Obviously with Celestials you're also going to get great benefits by this 30% critical rate when he triggers his rage skill, so I can say Bahorn till I actually awake him is not actually a hero that I'm planning to use, but still the commanders just put the commanders that are getting good benefit from this hero. And obviously you have to choose League of All Order. And in the wartime, the more right units you're putting on the battlefield, you're just going to hold the line where more, and I think Celestials is having a great impact there. Are Celestials OP or fair? I think it's actually fair, not gonna lie. I think it's fair because Vestals is very bad, very bad. Even if you go with Satyrs, which is, you know, from the Wilderburg, that they're buffing, I think 20% attack. They're not that good, I'm not gonna lie, they're just not that good. So Celestials, if you want to be a mage main, League of Order and Celestials, this is the way that you have to go. And I want to hear from you guys. Do you think the Celestials are overpowered or fair? Do you think they are way too stronger because their damage is way too bigger? And of course the survivability, also they get some extra attack if you don't move, if I remember right. Or you think the Celestials are fair? I mean, you think that the mage main players should have troop like Celestials? And do you think that the rest of the mages should be boosted somehow? Because Celestials right now is the best mage unit. And since it's only for one fraction, I just wonder what is the people opinion over the Celestials. Are they OP? Are they fair? Definitely leave your comment below. I'm reading all of my comments because, you know, nobody actually opened this question. Is it Celestials OP or fair? Just let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed this type of videos. And of course, like if you learn what to train next. Wish you a great day, guys, and see you in the next video.